Diddy is dead. Figuratively. Maybe literally too pretty soon, but we'll see. You know how that thing goes. He is gone. The question is going to be, how much money is there going to be left? When all is said and done, with all these lawsuits and all of the claims and the judgments, I'll bet you this guy doesn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. I'll bet you he is so leveraged, so mortgaged, with multiple various security interests competing for each other in the event of bankruptcy or whatever, because you can sue anybody you want. You can sue, this hand sanitizer, well, theoretically, but you're not going to get anything out of it because it's the old turnip thing. But let me tell you the latest one, and this is important. This is absolutely the most important thing for me to tell you, which is, I think, just, I don't even know what to tell you. Diddy has been accused now of, and I got to be careful because you can't say certain words or the algorithm, but he's been accused of sexually assaulting a 10-year-old boy, according to a brand new complaint in the furtherance of this cascade, this tsunami of allegations and the like. The lawsuit was filed in the Supreme Court of the state of New York, and is from the attorney Tony Buzbee, who has now made a career on doing, have you been to a Diddy party? Do you know Diddy? Have you ever heard his music? Call me, 800, sue Diddy. And he announced plans in early October to file 120 new lawsuits against the soon-to-be, dispatched mogul. It's one of two lawsuits filed in New York on Monday, as another male accuser, not good in the hip-hop community, another male accuser claiming he was sexually assaulted by Diddy in 2008 while auditioning for Making the Band. He was 17 years old at the time. Now, according to the first suit, which has been alleged, a John Doe, who currently resides in California, is claiming an alleged assault that took place in 2005. And at that time, he was a 10-year-old interested in becoming an actor and or rapper. This is horrid. In an attempt, as you can imagine, to help their sons, aspirations and dreams, the boy's parents sought the activities of an industry consultant who recommended to them that they fly from their home in L.A. to New York to meet with various music industry figures. Now, during the trip, again, all of this is alleged. During the trip, the consultant arranged for Mr. Combs to meet with the young boy for an audition. I'm doing this a lot. I'm sorry to do this. And Diddy asked to meet with the boy alone before meeting with the family. So the consultant, it is alleged, took the boy to Combs's hotel room and left him alone with him, which, just right off the bat, you're thinking, what? Does this consultant not know that people have known this stuff about him for a year? But I digress. So the boy performed a few rap songs for Diddy, who told him, this is according to the allegation. Now remember, all of this is just, the initial, presumed innocent business, that he would make him a star, could make him a star, and ask him how badly he wanted it. How badly? How much do you want to be a star? And according to the complaint, the plaintiff, the young man, responded, as might any 10-year-old child, that he would do anything. Kind of an expression which Diddy took apparently literally. So another person who was present then gave the boy what was called a drink or a soda or a Coke or something, which the young boy drank. And then shortly after, it was alleged, he began to feel, quote, a little funny, which the plaintiff's attorney now claims was because the drink was laced with drugs, quote, including but not limited to GHB and or ecstasy. So after consuming the drink, Diddy allegedly told the boy to move closer to him and pushed him down, telling him to the effect of, quote, "You have to do some stuff you don't want to do sometimes." Fight the rage for a moment. Again, allegations, which Diddy undoubtedly said he didn't do. Diddy said didn't. Okay. Once the young man was pushed down, and I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to stop because sometimes I don't want to hear this. Even though I've seen this and I've heard this as a prosecutor, it still disgusts me. It is alleged the young boy cried, said he wanted to see his parents, to which Mr. Combs allegedly told him that if he said anything to anyone, he would hurt his parents. This is the oldest allegation, if true, ever. People have done this. People have said, "I'm going to hurt you. I'm going to hurt your dog. I'm going to hurt your family. I'm going to hurt something you love." It's been done before. It is not something that is unheard of. When the consultant apparently and allegedly returned, she noticed that the boy was badly shaken. This is important too because it shows a contemporaneous kind of a reaction to this, and took him back to his parents, who later determined and noticed that he was, quote, lethargic and acting differently. In the time since the alleged assault, the John Doe has suffered from, quote, severe depression and anxiety, which leaves him hopeless and fatigued. Okay. Now, in the second lawsuit filed in New York, a different John Doe claims that Diddy forced him to perform some particular acts, which, again, I direct you accordingly, to perform some acts during a 2008 audition for Making the Band. Okay? Making the Band. This is this thing. And horrid. When and by the way, the allegation of this young man was 17 years old, okay? 17 years old. During all three auditions, Diddy allegedly coerced him to engage in acts with both himself and his bodyguard as a test to see how badly he wanted to make it in the music industry. Kind of a trial by ordeal. After visually expressing discomfort and disdain and indecision and hesitation with the whole situation, Diddy told this John Doe that he would be, quote, keeping an eye on him, which it is alleged ultimately led to his subsequent removal, disqualification, and or elimination from the competition. Now, in response, of course, to the first suit, representatives for Mr. Combs issued a statement basically disavowing the claims. One statement that was made to a media source said, quote, "The lawyer behind this lawsuit is interested in media attention rather than the truth, as is obvious from his constant press appearances and 1-800 number. As we've said before, Mr. Combs cannot respond to every new publicity stunt, even in response to claims that are facially ridiculous or demonstrably false. Mr. Combs and his legal team have full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor." And the latest suit echoes and reverberates a similar one filed last week when a Jane Doe accused Diddy of assaulting and drugging her as well when she was 13, all while an unnamed male and female celebrity watched. Do you hear this? It is something. It is something. And as you know, my friends, Mr. Combs is currently incarcerated at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn. That's different from where that other fellow was. After he was arrested on the 16th of September by Homeland Security, this is the federal case, on a federal racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation case to engage in prostitution. He pleaded not guilty, of course, of the charges, and he is denied bail by two subsequent judges. Believe it or not, he may very well be safer here in jail. I know that sounds crazy, than out. But this is not in any way done. In any way done. This is, it's incredible. To think the allegations, if true, 10-year-old. We're going to leave it at that. Let me remind you that what you should be paying attention to is this. Number one, what happens ultimately when you have the chance to provide a, dare I say, what's the word? When you have the chance to expose the potential rock, music, entertainment, hip-hop royalty whose names and likenesses and hints are peppered and scattered throughout this, ultimately, this could end up in something bigger than that other guy who was dealt with in a different way. What do you think, my friends? Let me first ask you to subscribe to the channel, to like the channel, to always like what we do. This is Lionel Nation. And more importantly, I'm curious, as always, for you to comment as you see fit.